I had 5 pupils.
Hey everyone, it's Jason, and welcome back to Martial Arts Theater 3000. If you've been following along so far, thanks for all the support on this Venoms countdown. And if you came across this video first and didn't see the others, I'd say go back and start at number 21, because it'd be the best way to watch the series. And as always, if you can hit that like button, it would definitely help the channel and get these videos into the algorithm a bit better. Without any further ado, let's jump back into it. Coming in at number 17, we have Sword Stained with Royal Blood. This is a 1981 film. Like Ode to Gallantry, this is adapted from a wuxia novel by Louis Cha. Now, I have to say, I do really enjoy this movie. It has some flaws. It's definitely a later style Chang-Chi movie, but not quite as zany as the ones that came around 1982. Now, this movie starts with Guok Choi. It's pretty much like an origin story, and he is being trained in Kung Fu, and various things happen that leads him on his quest. And once the movie starts rolling, the action is excellent. This is just like a peak period for the Venoms. You can tell it was filmed right around Masked Avengers, but something I will say is, unlike Masked Avengers, the stakes don't feel too high. So I wouldn't call it lighthearted, but this movie doesn't seem to have that on the edge of your seat feeling you get in a lot of Shaw Brothers and Venom's films. But what it does have going for it is it's actually about the Kung Fu itself. It's warring schools. When the fight scenes start, there is just some discussion about the actual different movements. Guok Choi is sparring with one of his younger nephews and is telling him which technique to use. It's just so intricate. It's just very interesting, and I love it. When I first saw this movie, one thing that did turn me off to it a little bit is the use of undercranking. Now, undercranking is when they change the speed while they're filming the movie, and then when they put it back at normal speed, it speeds up the fights. Now, this is in a lot of Kung Fu movies to various degrees, but in this one, it definitely shows at times it looks obviously sped up, but thankfully not through all the fights and not the whole time. And this is one of the rarest Venoms movies. This was one that didn't get an English dub and wasn't on television in the 80s. And so it did come around a bit, I think, in the bootleg era, but I didn't see it then. And it wasn't until Celestial remastered it that most fans got to finally see this film. This again is like a Guok Choi starring role. So like Ode to Gallantry, like Masked Avengers to an extent, this period really was where the Venoms were less an ensemble cast that all had even screen time. It started to splinter a bit, where you'd have Lo Mang doing Two Champions of Shaolin, Guok Choi doing Ode to Gallantry, and Sword Stained with Royal Blood. So for the plot and acting on this one, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. I really love the story. I love the twists and turns, and I love this attention to detail. And Guok Choi gives a stellar performance in this one. Now for the fighting and action, I'm going to give it an 8.5. It would rank higher. I just think the undercranking is a bit noticeable, and that's not the case in most Venoms films. But don't get me wrong, there's great choreography. Without sounding like a broken record, the ending again is amazing. So definitely check this one out. It's harder to find in physical form, but I just looked around a bit, and if you go on YouTube, you can rent it for $2.99 in HD, and on Amazon, I believe it's also $2.99 to rent. So let me know down below what you think of Sword Stained with Royal Blood, and if you haven't checked it out, maybe go over to Amazon or YouTube and give it a look and come back and let me know what you think. Thanks again, guys, for following along on this countdown. It's been a blast, and I'll catch you in the next one.